Da 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 da. It's a House of Dragons. I keep wanting to call it House of the Dragons. House of Dragons? House of the Dragon? What is it called? House of the Dragon. Not House of Dragons. Oh god. Anyway, it's a prequel to Game of Thrones. Now I don't know if some of you have been hanging around long enough that they might be able to cast their minds back to that time when I reviewed every episode of Game of Thrones, and I successfully actually predicted that, you know, the kid who fell off out the tower was the key to everything, didn't I? Do you remember that? Do you remember? Yeah. Anyway, this is a prequel, a pre-sequel even. And it stars lots of people like Paddy Considine, Matt Smith, Rhys Ifans, one of my favourite actors. I always wanted him to be Doctor Who. Loads of people, and again, I wasn't. Let's pull up some art so it looks like we know what we're talking about. Let it look like this be a professional production, what it is. See, and this is the picture, and there's a dragon in it, and there's Princess Rhaenyra. Again, it's got to learn all new names. Oh God, I've got to learn all the names. I'm not going to spoil it. But we're going to talk about something. There's dragons in it. I'm going to do a non-spoiler review. That's what I'm going to do. Non-spoiler review. There will be some elements in it that I will talk, but I don't think it's particularly spoilerish because it's kind of in the trailer and whatnot. We're concentrating on the Targaryen family. They're all the blonde ones, you know, the blonde ones, the ones that have the dragons. Hence, it's called House of the Dragons. And it's about them. It's about King Viserys, Prince Daemon, Princess Rhaenyra, and how they all don't get along, or do get along. We know some of this story because it's been spoken about in Game of Thrones, so we kind of know where it's going, but we don't necessarily know how we're going to get there, unless you've read the books, but I haven't, because I can't read. Now, again, I was worried, because you always worry about prequel sequels, or sequel prequels, or pre-sequels. You worry that they're not going to be as good as the original, and I enjoyed Game of Thrones, even the last season. Again, a lot of people rounded on it because it didn't deliver what they wanted it to happen, but it was obvious she was always going to go mad because the Targaryens go mad with power. It's foreshadowed, you know. It's foreshadowed. So yeah, I was a little bit alarmed. You think, oh, is it going to be as good? Oh, will it have all those memorable characters? But then Miguel Sapochnik, he is the showrunner for this. Now Miguel, he helmed some of the really big episodes of Game of Thrones, Battle of the Bastards. That was one of his. And I think Hard Home, he directed that. So he's very much in that world. So it's like, he's in safe hands, and the DP, the director of photography, is another alumni of Game of Thrones. So it's like, okay, these guys, we're going to get the look, and it's going to feel just right, and it does. It looks great, it feels great, and it feels more like it's of a golden age. And it's quite good. I liked it because you watched it and you see these are more, it's more regal. It's more regal time. And if you think of it, if you watch this episode and then think to, you know, Game of Thrones, it's like everything's on the decline because, you know, the big bad coming from the north and everything. So yeah, you see a different aspect of Westeros, a different aspect to it, which is really cool. And the design is on point. Everything looks and feels just right. Performances are great. Matt Smith is chewing the scenery as Prince Daemon. He's mad, bad, and dangerous to know, and it's really his thing. You know, he wants to be king. It's all about power because it's Game of Thrones. It's all about power. it does a good job of setting up the characters. I think it's not like the first one. Again, in the Game of Thrones first episode, I was always a bit overwhelmed by the amount of characters there were, because you got the Snows, and you got, what's his name, Dinklage in there. There's lots of characters to remember, and I can hear Austin Powers. There's lots of it's put me right off. Oh baby, do I make you horny? Oh, someone's at the door. There was this. It was a record. Of course it was. I wonder which record it is. Who knows? We'll never know. Oh, this is the Chat's new album. I might show you it, because it's a message that we could all we'll do an unboxing. Do an unboxing. I just hope the Austin Powers theme music isn't putting you off. Should have shut the windows down. This is what they come here for. They come here for House of the Dragons and unboxings. Here we go. And this is I think this is just a general message to all of you, really. There you go. I think we can all agree. I know I've upset the dog. The dog's walked away. So yeah, it doesn't have as many characters as Game of Thrones, so it's not as overwhelming, and it establishes the characters that we've got fairly well. The dynamics are all there. Looks fantastic. You've got all the elements in place, setting you up for a new set of stories. Again, set in that universe. It looks better. I think it looks even better. It looks more cinematic than Game of Thrones. Not that Game of Thrones didn't look good, but this has just a certain look to it. It's a bit more, again, a bit more high, almost high concept, because it's a different time. They capture the 172 years before Daenerys is born. So it's a different time. People are different. They talk. It's more Shakespearean almost in delivery. So yeah, I think it's going to be good. I enjoyed it, and at the end, when it ended and the music kicked in, it's like, oh, it felt like an old friend was back, And so we go from one week where Better Call Saul ends on a bit of a meh end note, when we have this back, and Westworld too. I should really do Westworld Series 4 review, shouldn't I? Not that anyone cares, but it gives me something to talk about. But yeah, I was worried. I thought it was going to be rubbish. I can imagine some might think it's a bit slow moving, but again, you've got to remember, Great Game of Thrones, initially was, there's enough plot to keep the first episode trundling along. It sets out, it's a good establishing episode. It really does set everything out for you. And again, even if you're not familiar with the Game of Thrones universe, this is really important. Even if you're a first timer, if you're a newcomer to all this, it really gets you in. You don't need to know all the lore. You don't need to know what's going on. You can watch it with fresh eyes, and I thought that was good as well. So they've really done a good job with this, and I wonder how long it's going to run for. Does anybody know? Is this going to run for like 8 years, like the other one? But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good, and I look forward to seeing more from this new set of stories. Success. I need a prop. I need a Game of Thrones prop. That's the thing. I need a dragon or something, don't I? I need something to hold up to show that I'm a proper fanboy of it. But I'll just have to do the music again. Da, 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 da. Give it a look. 2 a.m. club. I'm back in the game. And yeah, we'll talk about it. Well, maybe we'll do it next week as well. Yeah, should we do this regularly? Yeah, what the hell. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was my review of House of the Dragon. Voices. You can hear voices. Lunchtime commences. And we'll do this all again soon.